If you ask me that, Aman, in 2022, which phone offers the best performance, the best cameras, the best software, the best looks? Basically, which phone is the best do-it-all device? I would say look no further than the Galaxy S22 Ultra 5G. Hello everyone, Aman here from Mr. Phone, and this is not your regular Galaxy S22 Ultra review. Instead, this is my long-term review of the Galaxy S22 Ultra 5G after having used the phone for almost 3 months now. Now, before we go ahead, consider hitting that red subscribe button for detailed tech videos and also turn on the bell so that you don't miss any of our latest updates. Now, let's get started. Some like curvy phones, some like boxy phones, but what if you prefer a little bit of both? Well, that's what you get here with the S22 Ultra's design. Color options include Phantom Black, Phantom White and Phantom Burgundy, the one that I have, but my favorite one has to be the Phantom Green that has been recently made available for India. So yet this shining aluminum rails sandwiched between curved Gorilla Glass Victus Plus on both the front and rear, the design exudes beauty and also gives a reassuring grip in the hand. Although people with smaller hands might find difficulties in maneuvering this phone with one hand, although in my case, I have gotten used to the S22 Ultra's form factor and using this phone with one hand hasn't been a problem for me. And also note that I haven't ever used a phone case on the S22 Ultra, so there's that as well. So even durability wise, the phone has held up very well with no visible scratches or dents on the frame or on the frosted glass back. Yes, the front does have your usual micro scratches since I like to use my phone naked, but otherwise I think the Galaxy S22 Ultra has aged well over the past 3 months. The camera island is gone from the S21 Ultra and the protruding lens on the S22 Ultra makes the phone look exquisite. On the front, the ultrasonic fingerprint sensor is as reliable and accurate as ever in unlocking the smartphone. The side buttons offer amazing tactile feedback, although the haptic feedback, while still being very good and very crisp and easily right there among the best, still isn't as powerful as the one on the Galaxy S21 Ultra. Now, shifting our focus from the design to the gorgeous display up front, well, this right here is a 6.8 inches diagonal dynamic AMOLED 2X display, and it comes loaded with all the bells and whistles such as an adaptive 120Hz refresh rate, Quad HD Plus resolution, HDR10 Plus support, up to 1750 nits brightness and so much more. And being a Samsung display on a top of the line Samsung smartphone, this one is a gorgeous panel. I mean, I can go on record to say that this is currently my favorite screen on a phone to consume content. Additionally, the large screen estate gives you so much room to play around with, and of course the colors look great, the blacks are deep and the contrast looks crisp. Not to forget, the multimedia experience is only complemented by one of the loudest, clearest and richest stereo speakers that you can get on any high-end smartphone. So long story short, making beautiful displays is Samsung's forte, and the company absolutely delivers with the one on the Galaxy S22 Ultra. The multimedia experience gets a huge thumbs up. Now, the display on the Galaxy S22 Ultra is also the perfect partner for the mighty S Pen, and this S Pen, by the way, going forward has now become a staple of the Galaxy S line. So the S Pen is the S Pen. It's the best integrated stylus that you can get for a phone. Instead, the Galaxy S22 Ultra is the only phone that comes with a stylus right now. Even for the Fold 3, you have to purchase the S Pen separately. So moving on, the S Pen's functionality is next level on the S22 Ultra. Superb low latency of about 2.8 milliseconds, and I've taken a lot of notes and signed many documents over the past 3 months on this smartphone. In fact, once you get used to signing digital documents with the S Pen, I'm sure you'll miss it even if you shift to any other smartphone. But apart from taking notes, you can also use the S Pen for sketching, coloring and various other tasks. Now on to the performance bit, and the Galaxy S22 Ultra ships with a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 SoC under the hood, paired with 12GB LPDDR5 RAM and a choice of either 256GB, 512GB or 1TB storage options. Of course, this phone does not come cheap, but for the kind of specs and hardware that you are getting here, the Galaxy S22 Ultra significantly undercuts its prime competitor, that is the iPhone 13 Pro series, both in terms of price as well as performance. Generally, app opening and closing times have been very fast, the animations and transitions look slick, RAM management has been very solid, and barring a few instances, I mostly found the apps right where I left them on the splash screen. In fact, the recent game optimization service controversy has also been resolved now, and following a software patch last month, I am glad to report that the Galaxy S22 Ultra does utilize the complete potential of the 8th Gen 1 chipset. What this means is that you get superb gaming performance on the S22 Ultra, but what I specifically loved about the gaming performance on this phone is the sustained output that you get over long hours of sessions. And by the way, this phone is able to handle even the most demanding of titles like Genshin Impact, BGMI, Call of Duty and the likes with ease, and gaming overall on the S22 Ultra feels very immersive. Now lately I have been having a blast playing Apex Legends for mobile on the S22 Ultra, and so far my experience has been pretty amazing. The graphics look dope, the screen is mesmerizing, and the audio output is superb. I mean, what else do you need? Now as for the endurance, the 5000 mAh battery with typical usage can easily last you a full day or even more if you're a moderate user. For me, I use this phone with Quad HD Plus resolution and 120Hz at all times, and I've been mostly getting around 5 to 6 hours of screen on time for a 15 to 16 hours cycle, and by the time it's bedtime, I still have around 15 to 20% battery left in the tank. As for the charging times, sadly you don't get a charger in the box of the S22 Ultra, but this phone does support up to 45 watt fast charging. Now in terms of numbers, I used the 65 watt Samsung charger that I got with the Galaxy Book 2 Pro 360 to charge the S22 Ultra, and this phone usually took about 75 minutes to fully top up from 0 to 100%. Also, I would like to point out that the night standby times on this phone are simply amazing. I mean, a maximum drop of 2% after 6 to 7 hours of sleep. I think that are solid numbers for an Android smartphone. Now before I talk about the camera, let me briefly talk about One UI 4.1, the software that the S22 Ultra comes loaded with. And for those who don't know, One UI is my favorite Android skin, and I believe the most reliable Android skins that you can get on any smartphone right now. Plus, Samsung's the only Android manufacturer right now that promises to give you 4 major Android OS upgrades plus 5 years of security patch updates for its flagship lineup, and this is something that not even Google promises for its Pixel line, and Samsung committing to this, I think that is great. Now there's nothing new that you don't already know about One UI 4.1, but yes, I can tell you that the software experience has been very reliable on this phone. The software updates have been timely, stutters and frame drops are very rare, and I already told you that the animations and transitions look dope. Otherwise, features such as Dex or even Link to Windows are something that I enjoy using the most. In fact, there's a feature that lets you force multi-window for all apps, and with that, tell me how many phones can run Netflix on split screen? Well, none, but you can do it on the S22 Ultra. And overall, I think it's the ease of use, the responsiveness of the software, and of course the features that you get here. I think all of this makes One UI a worthwhile experience on the Galaxy S22 Ultra 5G. Now let's finally talk about the camera. There are 4 lenses at the rear, a 108 megapixel main camera with OIS, a 12 megapixel ultra-wide angle camera, a 10 megapixel telephoto lens with 3x optical zoom, and a 10 megapixel periscope lens with 10x optical zoom. At the front you get a 40 megapixel snapper for selfies. Now I've already done a camera comparison of the S22 Ultra versus the iPhone 13 Pro, and it's a detailed camera comparison video, guys, so anyone who is interested in watching that can definitely check out how the S22 Ultra clearly decimated the iPhone 13 Pro in almost every scene. The link is in the card above, or you can also find it in the description as well. So now talking about the samples and keeping it short here, I think Samsung's cameras are mostly overlooked for producing saturated shades, but with the S22 Ultra, I think the company has nailed it when it comes to the color science. Now of course, the colors still don't look very neutral, but I believe the boost in colors and the contrast is just about right, and the final output that you get in the photos looks very good. Additionally, the dynamic range in shots is fantastic, HDR performance is top notch, the colors across the 3 lenses are very very consistent and the disparity is barely there. The S22 Ultra also excels in clicking amazing night shots, or see the shots taken in not so great lighting. Almost every other time that I clicked a photo on the S22 Ultra during the night came out bright with balanced colors and contrast along with good details. Portrait mode shots also look superb from the rear camera. In fact, from the front camera, I think this phone is one of the best for clicking selfie portraits as the output looks crisp and natural. Otherwise, general selfies also turned out good, no complaints there as well. One other area that I think Samsung has really improved is the 100x shots, which admittedly is still kind of a gimmick, but it is really fun to play around with, especially when it comes to taking moon shots. Now, in terms of video recording, the S22 Ultra can shoot up to 8K videos. However, for me, I've mostly relied on shooting 4K videos, mostly 60 FPS, and the overall video output, be it 4K or 1080p, looks nothing short of spectacular. Now, jumping in between the lenses while recording can be a bit janky, so I think the iPhone still does that best. But in terms of overall video recording quality, I think the S22 Ultra delivers top-notch performance with plenty of details and colors in the footage, good audio capture, and fantastic stabilization in videos. In fact, I would really insist that you go and check out my S22 Ultra versus iPhone 13 Pro camera comparison video and see why I feel that the S22 Ultra provides better camera performance over the iPhone 13 Pro. But also on a whole, I think the S22 Ultra is simply the best, the most reliable, and the most versatile camera system that you can get on a phone right now. With all said and done, I think so that I've made it pretty clear that if you want the best of the best flagship experience in 2022, then you have to go with the Galaxy S22 Ultra 5G. But the best also does not come cheap, and spending over ₹1,00,000 on a phone is still considered a luxury, at least in India. Then again, in this price segment, the S22 Ultra's only real competition is the iPhone 13 Pro series, which by the way is even pricier, and the Galaxy Z Fold 3, if I may include that phone as well. But at the end of the day, I think the Galaxy S22 Ultra is every bit worth its asking price, and a Galaxy S phone on a whole doesn't get any better than this. I mean, top of the line display, the best cameras on any smartphone, about 5 years of software updates, like how many Android phones even do that, and not to forget the built-in S Pen, which makes this the only phone to feature an integrated stylus. I would say that like a true blue flagship, Samsung had a lot of hype riding around the S22 Ultra before its launch, and now 3 months down, I totally believe that this phone has absolutely lived up to the hype. And that was my review of the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra 5G. So guys, shoot your questions or any query that you have regarding this phone in the comments below. Thank you for watching.